noticed something as I was driving. I thought about this the other day and I forgot about it, but nowadays people are so interested in looking for attention or looking for validation or looking for something outside of themselves. But really, we should value peace of mind. And a lot of times when I'm by myself, that's when I have peace, because it's not that people try to drain your energy or that they try to be negative or whatever consciously. They're unconsciously draining you, unconsciously being negative, unconsciously taking energy away from you. A lot of people do. Not all, but there are a lot of people that encounter that. They have a negative mindset. They have just a way of draining my energy because they are unconscious to their behavior. And I value my peace more than I value attention or validation or human interaction, because for a lot of years I interacted with people who took from me, and not necessarily monetarily or physically, it's not what I mean, but spiritually, energetically, they took from me because they were in a state of a negative space or a place of need. And instead of valuing my peace, I value being around people that really did not add to my peace. They didn't add to my value. And it's not about being, high on a horse, but when you're around people and all they seem to do is extract from you energetically wise, the older that you get, the more that you value your peace over being around other people. And I tend to get really aggravated whenever I get around people for too long of a period of time. Some people, you might think a full day would be a long time. Sometimes 2 or 3 hours for me being around people is draining, because you have all these different energies that are around you, and it can be really draining. It is to me, because I'm empathic, and so it can drain me very easily. So I have to have twice as much recovery time as most people. But do not value validation or closeness with other people over your peace, because if someone is not giving peace to you, they're not adding to your energetic levels. They're just draining you. And I don't mean that you're dealing with a crisis and that's not usually who they are. I'm talking about as a person, who they are. They take away from your peace. They take away from you energetically. They take away. They're not adding. Value your peace more than you value them. And if you can't completely cut ties with that person, limit yourself as much as possible of being around them, and create a boundary by walking away, by not spending time with this person. For example, I was taking a dance class, and there was this one girl that drove me insane. At first I thought, maybe this is just a one-off instance, and what she would do is interrupt the whole class and just take over the class. Like, she just needed to talk, and the attention needed to be all on her, and she was trying to talk over the teacher and take over the class because she just needed so much attention. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, come on now, just sit down, just do the class, do whatever it is. And it's okay to be socially interactive, but it just got to the point where it was annoyingly just like a Karen. It was like a Karen that just needed to be the center of attention and take over class. And I'm like, do I really want to continue to deal with this shit? Even though it's once a week, do I want to deal with somebody like this who just drives me up the wall? And it gets on my nerves so badly by the time, it hits however many classes of dealing with this kind of person, I'm going to end up telling this one to shut the hell up. I was like, it don't need to get to that point. So I just told the people, I'm not continuing this class. And I wanted to be like, you got this one that you need to get control over, and she's needing to close the mouth and just let everybody, have class and not take over the whole class and just talk the entire freaking time over the teacher. Yeah, I didn't say all that, but that's exactly what I wanted to. But I was just like, you know what? I don't need to get into this. I just need to get the hell out of this class and find a class where people don't need all this validation and attention, where when I go into class, I enjoy it and I'm not fucking annoyed by it. And I'm to the point where I don't care what I have to end. I don't care what I have to not engage in. If it means that I'm losing out on something, something else will come along that's better than whatever it is that I'm currently dealing with, whether it's a class, whatever it is. I'm not going to deal with somebody who is aggravating me and draining my energy and being negative, or having this needy energy where they constantly got to have somebody paying attention to them to feel important. That's too much to drain somebody. And a lot of people live unconsciously, so they don't really even become aware of these kinds of people who they constantly need attention, constantly need validation, constantly either stirring up something to get attention, or they just want somebody to listen to their bitching. And I'm sorry, but that's just not going to work for me. I need people who give me peace and who do not aggravate me, who do not drain me listening to, 125 problems that I can't do nothing about anyway, and I don't want to hear it every day. I value my peace more than I value being around other people. And when people don't give me peace, then I just go ahead and exit out because I'm not in the mood. I know that, energy is limited because we go to work and we got to spend all day giving our jobs all of our energy. And then if you have a family, I don't, but if you have a family, then you got to come home, and that's draining too. You might love your family, but it is draining. Depending on what you got to deal with, it can be draining. So by the time you go to bed, you're already tired. So why do you want to volunteer to have people, or go to a class, or deal with a situation where you're always encountering somebody who's either negative and wanting to complain about everything, or they need so much validation and reassurance that it's about to drain the life out of you. I'm talking about those situations where you don't have to volunteer, and it could be family, it could be close friends. Sometimes you just got to address the issue and be like, I got limited energy and I can't be dealing with this, and this is not my problem. And you might want to reword it differently, but value your peace more than you value being around other people. That is the most important, because when you don't value your peace and you don't value your own energy, people will come along and drain it, and then you'll end up with a physical or mental illness. And those same people that were draining you, that caused you to be so stressed out and were taking from your energy, they're just going to leave you in your illness, and they're not going to be there to do anything for you other than continue to put the focus on them and drain you some more. So I just wouldn't do it if I were you. Value your peace more than you value being around other people.